For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. Thanks for tuning in at thescribbleshow.com and on your favorite podcast app. How's it going today? I'm a little bit burpy, and I'll tell you why. Because we ordered tacos. Now, there's a funny story to that, which I'll get to. I'm going to have to write that down now that I bring that up. Taco talk. We're going to talk about that. And also, a very, very clever but simple way to reduce your monthly bills. You know, I'm Winnipeg cheapskate from where I was growing up in Winnipeg. Winnipeg cheapskate in the newspaper and the best-selling book. I've got a tip for you. So if you are still feeling the pinch of the coronavirus crisis, right? A lot of people are out of jobs, finding it hard to, get by with your bills month to month. I'm being serious here. A very, very simple way to have your bills reduced every month. So that's coming up, and the fabulous Loretta Lynn, legendary artist. You know her. She's got 40-something albums, if I'm not mistaken. Loretta Lynn is going to be joining us a little bit later. She's got a new music video, a new book out. She's working more than most people at her age, well, most people at my age even. She's a classic. She is charming, and she'll be joining us in just a little bit. Are you ready? Let's get this show started. The Scribble starts right after this.
Who are the Kardashians feuding with now? What did that little thug Justin Bieber do this time? Who's getting hitched? And who's headed for Splitsville? Hear the latest celebrity news and gossip every day on Entertainment Wrap-Up. The good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly the ridiculously hilarious. It's all recapped in this daily segment at entertainmentwrapup.com. Have a laugh at the expense of the rich and famous when they take themselves way too seriously. It's 3 minutes of time-wasting fun at entertainmentwrapup.com. Check out Entertainment Wrap-Up at entertainmentwrapup.com. Brought to you by Speak Free Books.
Isn't it crazy that you wait for payday, but before you know it, you're strapped for cash again? It's time to stop blowing your money and become a smart spender with the book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com. Learn simple ways to cut costs at home every day and during special times of the year. Don't go broke at Christmas. Don't remortgage the house for a fancy vacation. The book is filled with tips to save you money throughout the year. Check out the best-selling book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com or on Amazon and iTunes.
Jeremy Bradley here on The Scribble. So, Taco Day, let me just tell you about what happened. I'm not a very daring eater, okay? Quite honestly, the very first time that I had a burger was probably, I'm not kidding you, 5 years ago. I did it because I was at home, it was summertime, and I don't have a barbecue or anything like that, again, just because I'm very simple, I don't cook. And I kind of thought, you know what, I just feel like having a burger. And so I went to the store. Coincidentally, there is a Burger King in the store's parking lot, but I went to the store and I bought buns and lettuce and pickles and barbecue sauce and, of course, the burgers and, bacon, all of the fixins, as you'd call it. And then I get home and I thought about it. It would have been so much cheaper just to make a run through the drive-thru at Burger King and come home. When you actually add up all the ingredients, these were like $20 hamburgers. Cheeseburgers, bacon cheeseburgers, whatever they were. They just had a lot of stuff with because I didn't have all of those things at the time, right? So anyway, we ordered tacos at home before coming and doing this. And it was really funny because I said, I haven't had tacos before. Now here's the deal when I talk about not being a daring eater. I was thinking burritos, but actually ordering tacos. So then, one of my producers, I texted, I was like, I'm trying something new, I'm being daring, I'm getting tacos. And my producer writes back and she said, I've had tacos with you like 3 times in Mexico. So then when the food actually arrives, because there was this anticipation, I said, oh, this is going to be fun. And I look at it and I was like, yeah, I've had these before. I was thinking burritos. I thought that we were ordering burritos at home. We ordered tacos. So it was almost disappointing. Like, I was thinking, hey, I'm turning a new page in life. I'm going to try tacos for the first time. They're like, no, you did a whole taco tour. We have photos of you eating tacos in Mexico. So anyway, and it was just so funny because I thought, speaking of money, like I mentioned at the top of the show, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to splurge. We ordered between two of us at home. It was $40-some worth of tacos. Because, again, this is one of those things where I thought it was the first time, right? So what we ended up doing was we got some chicken one, we got a beef one. My husband wanted a fish taco. First time he's ever eaten a fish taco. God. Oh, this is going in all sorts of wrong directions. But anyway, so we clean it up. Loretta Lynn's on the show this week. All right. So anyway, we had like $40-some worth of tacos. Now this would be one of those instances where we could have gone to the store and made them for like $3 each, but no, we decided to do it. So, oh, my eyes are watering. Okay, so enough about that. Now let's talk about reducing your bills if you don't want to spend too much. I can't. Oh, my eyes watering, nose is running. All right, here we go. I do need to class it up a little bit. So, for reducing your bills. Okay, here's what happened. A couple of months ago, now this is back when people were still going door to door and trying to sell you stuff. They weren't afraid that your doorbell would kill them and infect them with some vicious disease. Now, I had ordered food, actually, now that I think about it. It's like a theme day. All the stories just blend together. We're off to a great start, aren't we, everybody? So I went to the door thinking that it was my food delivery, right? I'm expecting the guy with the bag, and no, there's somebody standing there with a clipboard. And I thought, oh, crap, right? Because I never answer the door for these people. And so it's a guy from a competing cable company, and he said, well, we've got a promotion. And I was like, I don't have time right now. Oh, can I just give you the brochure or whatever? It's $55 a month for your phone, internet, and TV. And I said, hey, well, that's a pretty good deal. And I didn't have the time, I didn't have the patience to stand there and do the deal and sign up and whatever. And so I said, I'll take the pamphlet, that's it, goodbye. And my excuse that I gave him was, I said, well, I'm in the media and I have media rates because the company that I have as a provider is also a national broadcast company as well. So if you're really good, they'll hook you up. And I said, no, I don't need your, I'm good. So anyway, I said they take care of me. So come to find out, my account, was going through the bills, whatever, and I said, oh, you know what, that reminds me that I should, call my company back that I have and just say, you know what, $55 a month. Here's a new company that's wanting to court me. I've been with you guys for 12 years. What gives? Like, do $55 a month. Like, I'm paying over at least $100, right? That doesn't seem unreasonable. And my accountant said, yeah, I think that you actually pay more than I do. And I said, hold the phone here. Literally, hold the phone. I'm paying more on media rates than you have. So come to find out that I have an account or my plan, whatever, is grandfathered in. So I've had it for so long that at that time, I was paying a really good rate. Turns out that they're constantly coming up with new promotions. You're getting faster internet, more channels, whatever it is. And so bottom line was when I actually called in and talked to their loyalty team, they're trying to upsell me. And I was like, okay, no, you're not getting it here. I like what I have now, just not the cost of the bill. I'm fine with the channels. We don't really watch movies. We don't do this. We don't do that. I want exactly what I have, but for less. So then the guy eventually says to me, he's like, well, you can actually have way more for less. And I said, now we're talking here. All right, that's fine. You're not upselling. I mean, you're upselling me on product, and you're downselling or downsizing or whatever on cost. I'm all for that. So he starts crunching the numbers, and he's like, yeah, it actually ends up being, such and such per month. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. So wait a second. I had media rates before, and now you're telling me that it's actually going to be cheaper than what my media rate is. He's like, yeah. And so, again, this is something that I actually even talk about in my book, I believe, which is, wheel and deal, right? If they want your loyalty, or sorry, if you have been loyal to them, then you need to get loyalty from them, from the company. And so it's just a matter of placing the phone call, and saying, look, I've been with you guys for 5 years. Hey, look, somebody knocked on my door. And now, I'm not saying lie, because I actually did have the pamphlet or the brochure from the guy. So if they want it, I could absolutely take a picture of it and send it, right? It's not like I'm saying, I'm not telling you to scam the companies, although if that works. But no, I'm just saying that, play ball, right? Why? It's about time that businesses you're going to show loyalty to me, especially after 12 years. I mean, my parents, and I said this to my mom and dad before, they were hesitant to move over their telephone provider to their cable company. They were two separate ones. And she's like, well, we've been with this company for like 30 some years or whatever since we moved into the house. And I said, then even perfect for you then to go and say to them, what gives? Show us the love. What can you do? So I ended up reducing, and I've done this with my cell phone plan. I've done this with a bunch of other bills, is see what they'll offer you. It doesn't hurt to ask. If you threaten to cancel, sure, they might call your bluff, right? And they might say, well, there's nothing we can do, so you're just going to have to go, and then you can quickly hang up and pretend like you didn't do it. But oftentimes, a good company will have some sort of backup plans. And if the regular customer service person can't do it, from what I was told, is that there's this loyalty team, and they're there to basically save the day and keep you. So that's just a great way. And again, like I said, if you're having trouble, paying your bills or whatever it is, I mean, the average, so then again, we were talking about this amongst our group here, and, the average cable, internet, and for people who still have a landline phone, sometimes if your company has cell phones as well, but, $200 is kind of about the average with taxes and everything that people are paying. I mean, there's plans and promotions, then sometimes they only might be for 2 years, but certainly, hey, if you can save $50 a month for 2 years, why not? If you can save $20 a month for 2 years, go for it. So again, it doesn't hurt to ask for promotion to help bring down your bill. So that's just a little cheapskate tip for you. If you want to check out, go to cheapskatebook.com. See, I can't just give you the tips for free and then not get anything in return, right? Buy the book, cheapskatebook.com. We'll be back talking with the great, the fabulous, the legendary Loretta Lynn right after this.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
Music superstar and, country music icon Loretta Lynn is joining us to talk about her latest projects because, she ain't slowing down and is working more than most people. She's got a new video, a new book, and she's made the time to join us on the phone today. Hello, Loretta Lynn.
Hello, Jeremy. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you keeping?
I'm great.
Good to hear. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin. There's so much to talk about. But let's start with I Fall to Pieces, the brilliant Patsy Cline. I'll let you take it from there. That song, that friend, they both mean so much to you.
That friend is Patsy Cline. I just wish she was here. It's hard. Every day I think, why ain't she here? She should be.
Tell me about that friendship. I mean, what was the connection? Because there's sometimes when we meet people and we say, we're going to be friends forever. What was it like the first time you two got together?
Well, I did the Ernest Tubb record shop one night, and her and her brother was out in a car, and he had an accident in Madison, and she almost got killed.
Right.
So she was in the hospital out in Madison, Tennessee, and I sang I Fall to Pieces. And sang it for Patsy Cline, and told her she was in the hospital, That was an awful song for me to sing to her, wasn't it? I Fall to Pieces. But bless her heart, she had sent Charlie Dick, her husband, to the Ernest Tubb record shop to find me, to bring me to the hospital. So Charlie come and got me, and I went to the hospital. And when I walked in, she had her leg wired to the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
And one arm, and her head was all bandaged, her face, she was a mess. But bless her heart, she come out of that.
And I mean, that's got to be a very interesting time to meet somebody when they're in such a predicament like that. Do you remember the conversations that you had?
She looked over at me and she said, sit down. I sat down. And we just went to talking about different singers and different things that has been going on, and more or less about the music, how it was changing.
I've been using the word friend, but you really say that she's your sister.
She was like my sister.
Yeah. Can you give me one word to describe Patsy Cline?
Great.
That's wonderful. Now, do you remember hearing the song for the first time?
I heard her sing, let me see. I go out walking on the Arthur Godfrey show. I lived in the state of Washington, as far from country music as I could get.
Right.
But I was still trying to hang on to anything that was country, and I saw her on the Arthur Godfrey show. And I guess from there I wanted to meet her, and I did.
Let's talk about the book, because it's a great tribute to that friendship, or to your sister. It's called Me and Patsy Kicking Up Dust, My Friendship with Patsy Cline. There's a real family influence to the book, isn't there?
Yes.
What prompted you to write it?
My daughter, Patsy, the one I named after Patsy.
Right. What does she think of your relationship and your friendship?
She just listens when I talk about Patsy and tell different stories. Patsy just listens, and I'm sure she knows every one.
What's the funniest one? What's maybe one that makes you smile when you think of it?
Of me and Patsy?
Yeah.
Oh, there are so many. I can't. Teaching me how to shave my legs, that was funny.
Oh, I have to know that story.
And when I got home and I was trying to shave my legs for myself, I had my legs cut 100 places.
Did you ever master it? Did you get the hang of it, though?
Yeah, about 10 years later.
And, with this book, it's such a touching story, and lots of your musical friends have commented on it. I know Reba, Trisha Yearwood, Miranda Lambert. The foreword was written by Dolly Parton. So it's a real sisterhood, even with the book. It's had a lot of great support.
Well, me and Dolly, we've been together for a long time because she was on the Porter Wagner show and I was on the Wilbur Brothers show. Mm-hmm. So her and I have been together for a long time. I love Dolly like a sister, too. If I ever needed Dolly, Dolly would be here. And if Dolly ever needed me, I would be there.
Right. And you know what? I don't think nowadays that people cherish those kinds of friendships. I think that with social media and the way people just seem so disposable. So it's really refreshing to hear that you've kept those friendships so close to you. It really is a great thing.
Well, it's a sad thing. If you don't have a friend, you don't have nothing.
Well, I know you recently said friendship can help us during difficult times like what we're all going through right now. I mean, of course, the coronavirus thing and everybody being so separated. Tell me, though, about how music helps people. Do you find that music helps you heal?
I think music keeps the world turning. Music is the greatest thing there is for sickness, for anything. Music, turn on music if you're sick, or if you're lonesome, or if you're happy.
It really is a powerful thing that, it doesn't matter where you come from, how old you are, what...
Where you come from, it don't matter what kind of music it is, it's great.
Right, yeah, your age, your color, your whatever you have, everybody can relate to music. Yeah. And I mean, you've been doing music for so long, you have a few dozen albums that you've recorded. I'm not going to make you name all of them, I won't ask you to do that, but, I mean, do you have...
Singing.
Do you have a favorite song or album that you've done? I know sometimes that's like picking your favorite child, but do you have a favorite album or song that you've recorded?
We've Come a Long Way, Baby is my favorite album, I think.
Yeah. And when you've performed, do you find that the audience, that's one of their favorites too?
I ask them what they want me to sing. If I don't know it, I tell them they can get up and sing it themselves. And 90% of the time, they'll get up and try to sing it.
That's
We'll
got to...
get through it.
Well, for sure, and that's got to be a great feeling to know that people, when you're singing that person's song to the person, I mean, that's got to be intimidating. So the fact they've got the courage to do it, I think, says a lot, Loretta, doesn't it?
Well, we have a good time. Let's put it that way.
And nowadays, I think...
Well, I don't do a show unless I have a good time doing it.
Well, and
Don't have a good time, stay off the stage.
Right, stay home, right? But...
Right on.
And I think that we need more good times and laughs, just like your friendship that you've had with people.
That's right.
Yeah. So I know the book is popular. It's on Amazon, and then all of the details are on your website, which is lorettalynn.com. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's my honor to chat with you. I've always wanted to. I've never met you. I've always wanted to meet you, but this is the next best thing during isolation.
Well, you
so.
have to come and see me.
I will do that when everybody's back, out in the world. I'll make a point to come and see you.
Well, I'll come and see you once.
All right, there you go. Well, you know what? Right now, because I had to come back home. I'm in Canada, so if you want to come to Canada when it's safe to do so, I will show you the town. We'll have a good time.
Hey, you know what?
What?
It was the Canadian people that started my career.
Oh, you know what? Do you have a few more minutes? Can you tell me that story?
Well, I worked at a little tavern, a club called Bill's Tavern, and all the Canadian people would come to hear me sing. So a man from Canada took a notion he would record me because he liked some of the songs that I sang. And that's how I got started.
Wow, what a small world, isn't it?
I love Canada. I love the people in Canada. I lived right next to the Canadian border for 20 years. And I love them fish and chips, that they made in Vancouver.
That is, where did you live close to the border?
You know where Blaine is? Right across the border.
So,
I work, that's where I sing.
Right, yeah. And so, how often do you get back to Canada?
I've not been there in quite a while because, I've been recording and I've been working so much. And, but I plan on taking a long trip to Canada and hitting every place that I hit when I started.
Well, you let me know and we'll do a road trip, okay?
All righty, we'll do it.
It was so wonderful to chat with you. Miss Loretta Lynn, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you for talking to me.
All right, you take care.
Okay, honey.
It's never too early to start thinking about your next holiday. Have you checked out Mexico recently? From tequila tasting, swimming with horses, to ziplining through the jungle and watching whales and dolphins in their natural habitat, Puerto Vallarta has it all. Visit mexico.jbonair.com to see all the fun PV has to offer. That's at mexico.jbonair.com for hundreds of photos, interviews, and videos from around the tourist hotspot. Check out mexico.jbonair.com for all the fun. That's mexico.jbonair.com.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on the Scribble. Hearing that Mexico commercial makes me think of the tacos again. I just can't stop laughing. And knowing this group, I won't hear the end of it anytime soon. Let's also talk customer service, because you know what? Customer service ain't what it used to be. I've commented several times on the show in the past about how people don't have that separation now of, I'm going to tell you, it's one thing to I don't know, be a customer on the receiving end and really laying into an employee, and then an employee not taking your crap and giving it right back to you. That would never happen. Now, I haven't been in customer service for many, many years, but it reminds me of when I worked at Party City. Now, Party City has reopened in Canada since then. I was there in the first iteration of Party City. So Party City was open for about 2 or 3 years. Oh, God, we're going back 15 years or so now. And I was an assistant manager at one of the stores in my hometown. And I mean, just really any customer service job at the time, it was like you had to kiss the customer's ass. That was just the job. That was just sort of what was expected, right? And so, and being a party store anyway, right? That was even more the case where you had to be peppy and happy. But we had this attitude of, okay, that's great. You know, we'll be happy and fun with the customers, but we just had such a good time with the staff. So it actually almost became to the point where we were kind of almost inconvenienced when customers would come in. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not saying like we, ignored them. But we just had so much fun together as a group, and there was no animosity between, I don't know, like it was just, and the way I looked at it when I worked customer service was I almost saw it as like an acting gig or a challenge to say to myself, okay, you know what, this guy is a dick, but here's the deal. I'm going to turn on the charm. I'm going to work it. I'm going to pretend like I'm happy and I'm not pissed off. Like I ended up making it a fun thing. Do you know what I mean? And so nowadays, though, you see these videos on YouTube where, I mean, the staff is getting into fistfights with customers. I'm laughing because the reason I'm laughing, I'm not laughing at that because it's not right to, assault people. What I'm saying is I'm envisioning some of the situations where we had really tough customers at Party City. I just wouldn't even, you couldn't even take a tone with customers back then. Do you know what it was like a customer was royalty. So when I see these things, when I see these videos, and I've experienced it too in a store where, you just get this attitude, and there's a part of me that wants to go and say, I'm sorry, if you don't want to be here, you can leave. You know that, like, you can quit and find another job if you don't like what you're doing here. And I could never imagine like swinging at a customer when I'm working in retail. Like I don't know. I mean, we see it a lot, mostly at fast food restaurants, I think, is where people tend to lose their cool. I haven't worked fast food ever, but certainly we had some pissed off customers at Party City. But yeah, it was like that. You wouldn't think to take a tone. You wouldn't think to, tell them that that just wasn't heard of. You just didn't. I don't know. So I'm fascinated when I see these, these situations of people just losing it. So it's sad that it's come to this because, now again, so my point in all this is that I think that's where, whether it's social media or just sort of the casual society that we live in, is that you just don't have that separation. That suddenly, you do have to flick the switch. You do have to go from, bitching and sassy on social media to professionalism, when you're in the front lines. And I realize that it's probably intimidating then because you'll have the customers who come in with their camera phones and want to confront you that way and get it on tape and upload it. But again, that's where it actually makes you look better if you just sort of keep your composure and, don't give in to them goading you, I guess is the proper word for it. So anyway, yeah, I mean, if you've had a bad customer experience, I would love to hear about it. And that's exactly it, right? They call it customer experience now, not customer service, not customer relations. It's an experience. And I find that some places just don't give a crap, which is, it's sort of sad. But that's what I'm saying is that there isn't that separation now between your casual, shooting the shit with friends sort of attitude and your work persona. It's like, you know what? No, you get me. This is who I am on the internet, behind the counter, at the register. That's me. There is no different me. And again, that just wouldn't have flown, however many years ago at Party City. I have so many stories from that place. And it's funny, too, because during lockdown, when everybody was just starting to do these, video chats and phone calls with people from the past, I actually did reconnect with somebody, and we ended up doing, I think it was almost like a 3-hour video conversation. And again, she's now married, has kids, because we were both in our early 20s at the time. So we've grown up so much, and it was like no time had passed. And it's funny to hear stories of situations that she remembers, or these like nightmare customers that she had, and she was even telling me too that you work on somebody's, whether it's their baby shower or their wedding or their bar mitzvah, whatever it is. And then they start calling for you all the time now, every time they have a party, which is great, right? Because when it comes to your employee review or whatever, you've got all these people who are giving you these glowing testimonials. They want to talk to the manager about how great he was or she was. But then they just start calling all the time. And so I remember hearing about this woman who was constantly calling her, but this is also when stores had a fax machine in the back. And so the alarm went off one night, believe it or not, because this woman was faxing the floor plans and everything for her son's bar mitzvah. I mean, so the reason the alarm went off was because there was so much paper coming through the fax that it ended up falling. The paper went off the paper tray and onto the floor, and then in the office it set off the sensor because of the movement. And so she's like, I would come in to like 40 pages of fax stuff from this woman. And I said, but this is the thing, is that, you're providing a customer service, and that's exactly why you're here. That's why we're here. So, there you go. Anyway, hey, let's talk about Twitter for just a second.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
All right. In our final remaining moments, I just wanted to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Feel free to give me a shout anytime. It's always awesome hearing from you. Live at jbonair.com. Live at jbonair.com. My thanks to the incredible Loretta Lynn. Love her. She's such a sweetie. And I will talk to you same time, same place next week, right here on The Scribble. Have a safe week. I will talk to you then. Bye-bye, everybody.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.